coverage you can count on. This is KCBD News Channel 11 at 10.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
The city of Lubbock is pushing forward with a more localized way of addressing homelessness. This week, council members voted to support an application to the federal government to make the transition.
KCBD News Channel 11's Brittany Crittenden joins us now to explain why supporters say a local continuum of care is a change the area needs. Brittany?
Well, Karen and Abner, if the application to Housing and Urban Development is approved, Lubbock would leave the Texas Balance of State Continuum of Care program and create its own. The organization leading the way says this would increase collaboration between agencies and better address the needs unique to Lubbock.
We needed collaboration in the community. We needed providers to come together because there was a lot more needs than just housing. We have more needs, less resources.
Valerie Longoria is the executive director of ECHO West Texas. It's now the leading agency working for Lubbock to become its own Continuum of Care program, or COC, with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and leave the Texas Balance of State COC. It currently services 215 counties.
They don't have the capacity to really come in locally, and scale in on what our community needs are. And that's what we're looking to do through, connecting everyone and finding out what's going on.
Longoria says when the efforts to solve homelessness are locally led, our community will have the independence to first recognize the unique needs in Lubbock and address them. She says they've researched local COCs across the state and others.
You have great, thriving communities. They have collaboration, and other communities that are challenged, that are having those barriers and roadblocks and gaps in services, they lack collaboration.
A vote of the stakeholders has not been held yet.
Before City Council voted to support this change, agencies spoke on both sides of the issue. Organizations like the Salvation Army and Open Door hoped the city would change its mind. Open Door CEO Chad Wheeler is concerned if Lubbock becomes its own COC, it would lead to a drop in funding.
The city, from what we have heard, is saying that this change will allow greater control, will even allow greater resources to come to our community. Problem is, everything that we've seen and even heard from HUD says the opposite.
Open Door alone in the current Continuum of Care obtained $2.6 million from the federal government. He believes the maximum Lubbock would receive as its own COC is $2.4 million. He also says these dollars are specifically restricted to housing, and agencies that don't qualify still won't be able to if this change is made. HUD reports Amarillo received $442,000 through its own COC last year. Deputy City Manager Bill Howerton says working together would bring more money to Lubbock.
When some of these COCs aren't getting the dollars that they think they need or think they should get, there's no collaboration there.
Howerton says the application will likely be sent to HUD in June or July. The city has also allocated $3 million in ARPA funding to support the local COC. Karen.
Thank you, Brittany.